Facebook Live. This time we bring another powerhouse in DXN that has been in DXN for a long time. I told you we're going to be giving you back-to-back DXN Nigeria Facebook Live section, and we'll be tapping from the words of experience from our leaders around the world, internationally and locally. So always stick with us. Today I have a personal favorite. If you are used to our Sunya that was introduced to us recently by Dr. Lim, you will know him very well. In Nigeria, we keep playing his videos of Sunya practice, and it is repeated every time in DXN Nigeria office. So if you are used to Sunya, you will know him very well. He is a wellness trainer, and also he is the author of the biography of Dr. Lim, which happens to be our founder and CEO of DXN Nigeria. I bring to you today Dr. Rajesh Savera as it takes us on how to build our immunity with DXN. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir.
Namaste from India. How are you, Samuel?
Fine, sir. Fine, sir.
Good to see you. So I hope things are all great in Nigeria in terms of DXN.
Of course, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are moving forward. We are moving at a very good pace, sir.
Yeah, because worldwide now everybody's talking about DXN Africa, and Nigeria is in the forefront of this whole global wellness revolution of and so congratulations to every Nigerian DXNer out there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So Samuel, do we start?
Yes, sir. Please, you can start. You can start.
Yeah,
sir.
As I say, I always keep it short, simple, and sweet. And the best thing is, I will not need a translation, because usually with the concept of one world, one market, DXN has penetrated to so many regions around the world that in every region they have their own local language. And every time I have to speak, whenever we do a presentation, we have to translate that in local language. In Nigeria, I think everybody understands English.
Perfectly. Yes, sir. Perfectly.
Absolutely. That makes me the most comfortable place. I'm in the most comfortable place, because then I don't need Samuel's translation. I'll be talking directly to the people. Great. So as promised, tomorrow, actually, I'm very busy. And today I had to squeeze in this time, because tomorrow is a great day for DXN. Because tomorrow I'll be also hosting one of the great events of Dr. Lim being appointed as the Goodwill Brand Ambassador for IMSA, which is also an independent body, an IGO for the United Nations. And he's now going to use DXN Spirulina. Dr. Lim is going to use DXN Spirulina to combat the world's biggest crisis of malnutrition around the world. And the project that he has undertaken is to feed 1 million of children. And I think on one side, Dr. Lim feeds 1 million children, and we as DXNers, we are almost now 9 million people, and we can also take up a challenge to feed everybody. If we can just take up this challenge of feeding one child, we would be in turn 9 times more contributing into this big challenge of million children to feed. We can actually feed 9 million children. So please remember to stay tuned tomorrow on DXN fans page. That's our official page of DXN, and there will be the signing ceremony. And yes, today I'm here, and as promised, I'm a physician. So for people who don't know, my name is Dr. Rajesh Savera. I live in Pune, India, which is very close to Mumbai. And if you know what Mumbai is all about Bollywood, the songs and all the actors and everything. And India is well known for that. So I come very close to this place. I live very close to this place, and I have done my medicine in the Indian system of medicine called Ayurveda. So where we are taught both mind and body concepts, and then we use herbs, and then we treat people. But when I came across DXN, things completely changed, because there was this Dr. Lim's philosophy of treating the body in a complete different way. While if you look at modern science today, modern science tries to dictate over your body by introducing drugs, and drugs are meant to drug you. Basically, it is meant to actually suppress something within your system, because that's what drugs do. Drugs actually suppress you, and that's the modern way of approaching. Then the other science, like the herbal science, they basically use kind of opposite herbs. Some in the cold we use the hot herbs, and that's how we treat diseases. But what is so specific about DXN and Dr. Lim's concept of ganotherapy is to use body's own immune system. The greatest doctor that you could have for yourself is your own immune system. How can we use our inert immune system to trigger itself so that it becomes a machine to heal us from every condition that we might possibly suffer from? You look at nature. Nature is so amazing. Plants, they don't have a specific doctor. There's no short course for certain plants that they need to be treated. Neither do animals have any doctors or something. They have what we call an inert immunity. They build resistance to things over the period of time, and then they pass it on. So today's session is basically, I'm going to tap into what is so amazing about DXN and how it is going to help you build up your immune system. In current times, people would be talking about the COVID-19, and let me pull up my first slide here. Okay, and if you see here, what COVID-19 has done today is shaken up the world, has woken up them. We were in a deep sleep, and now we have got up, and we need to realize that you just cannot use medicines for everything. Immune system is never built up on medicines. It's not even built up on those drugged supplements, like people talk about omega-3, omega-6, vitamin C. Those are medicinal supplements. That is when you're deficient of something in your blood, you're given those as supplements. But what I'm talking about is food proper to help build up your immune system. Because if you look at the whole scenario today, especially the European countries, which were very high in terms of technology and in medicine, they are the worst affected in terms of this virus, COVID-19 condition, that disease condition. It's called the corona virus, and this coronavirus has really become a biggest headache. It belongs to the SARS-2 family. Now, when you look at the history, and I want to take you back, we have witnessed many epidemics like these before. And some have been so dangerous. Let's talk about the Spanish flu, the green color that you see on the top. That's exactly on this side, if you see. That's exactly there. And that Spanish flu, just in a single year from 19, it took almost 40 to 50 million lives. That is how dangerous it was. But yet we survived it all. And you look at the others. Let's talk about the red one, the HIV and AIDS. When it came initially, we were so scared, when it was first started to talk about, and people thought it would spread everywhere. Yes, it still exists, and we have started to live with it. So we need to understand this particular virus, the coronavirus, is also going to stay with us. It's not going to go anywhere. What we need to do is we need to adapt. We need to build our immune system. So how do we do that? And for that, you have to understand basically what is immune system. How can we build it up? How can we become more resistant to it? Not by vaccination alone. Vaccination is not a solution for everything. Every time you take a drug and you take a virus, you attenuate it, then you put it into your body and develop antibodies, and then you build up your immune system. How long can you do that? And for how many generations will you be keeping on doing this? You need to understand the only and the best way is to build an immune system so that we have an adaptive living. We could live in harmony with everything that is around. See, understand one thing, very, very important. We are a part of nature, and we have to be in harmony with nature. As soon as there is no harmony, there is harm. Okay, and you have to understand the virus is not here to feed on you or something. There is something that has gone wrong. That is why it is affecting us, and that is our weakened immune system. So if you understand the immune system, for me to simplify it, it's nothing but a healthy body and a healthy mind. That's it. So you need to understand it is both the physical body and the state of mind. They both together play a very important role in your immune system. You might be wondering, how is that so? It's very, very simple. A man who's in stress is more prone to diseases, okay, any kind of infection or something. Man who does not get his proper sleep, because of stress, insomnia, that triggers it up. So mind being affected can affect the body. And same is it true with the other side too. If the body is affected with a disease or condition or something, the mind is affected too. So you cannot separate them both. You have to take care of both of them. So if you have to understand that we as social beings, we have always lived together. We did not only spread the diseases, but in a way, if you were strong, immunity was good, we were actually a kind of vaccinating each other with those viruses and infections that were there. So if you look at the weaker ones definitely fell prey to this. It's common sense, you know. You look at a storm. When a storm comes in, the tsunami or something, you see the houses that are destroyed. You might have seen those pictures, you know, how these natural calamities like tsunami and these tornadoes, they destroy many houses and those things. You'll see those are the weak houses. The strong houses, they survive. I've never seen a palace fly off. I've never seen a big concreted strong building fly off. No, it's a weak houses made of thatched roofs, wood, everything, which do not have a strong foundation. They fly off. And the same is the case with infective conditions. So we need to have a strong foundation within us. And if you look and trace back to the history of the way medicine has evolved, you look at it, you see even in the African region, the Chinese civilization, the the Red Indian civilization, and even in Indian civilization, we had these so-called shamans or practitioners who actually foraged all these herbs from nature, and they knew their potential, and they used to use that as a part of the healing system. So we belong to this category, you know. So if tomorrow somebody asks what is DXN, DXN is just this simple thing. We belong to this category of healthcare practitioners who knew how to sync with nature and to tap into the nature's potential of healing. So Dr. Lim is probably one of them, and we are his followers. We DXN basically follows his concept. So we are basically nothing but a very, very old. So we have a very strong lineage, you know. The reference of our primary product, Ganoderma lucidum, is traced back to almost 2000 plus years, you know. And so you can imagine how long standing history we have of human consumption. So the safety, people still worry, is Ganoderma safe, how much to take? I always tell them, you know, you cannot have anything tested on humans for almost 2000 years to prove its efficacy of safety. And that's what Ganoderma is. Ganoderma is very, very safe. So trying to understand, why do we fall sick? Okay, now let's understand this also. For people who don't know me, even though I am an Ayurveda physician, I've done my bachelor's in the art of natural medicine. I'm also a master's in psychotherapy and counseling, and that's where my role of the mind comes in. So that's where I merge the practice of the mind and body into healing. And I believe DXN is the only company in the world right now that actually believes and practices and teaches mind-body healing. And that's why if you see at the right time, Doctor pulled up the ACE card of Shunya, and Shunya is now going to be one of the most important practices that help in healing chronic diseases, and we call it Shunya therapy. And very soon y'all are going to also learn, and if you have learned it, you should practice and teach it. So why do we need this? This picture behind me is the answer to that. You look at this bird, you know, that's how we are, innocent, ignorant. We are so focused on our survival, you know. Yeah, like this bird, what do you think it is engaged in? It's probably engaged in looking at a piece of, you can say, a worm that's lying there. It's trying to find out if it can get something for its survival. But its unawareness, its ignorance can be so life-threatening that behind it, there is death that's already crawling in very close by. Now, this scene, if I have just captured here, and at this point, if I ask you, what is the one thing would you do in this situation? You know, as a psychotherapist, we can use this as a good way to find out how does the person feel. So many people would say, I would like to, shoo the bird away and tell the bird to go away. That's the way I would save the bird's life. But then in that case, you're making the snake starve. So somewhere or the other, one of them has to fall prey. The one who is weak, the one who is ignorant, is going to fall prey. That is the law of nature. So nature is ruthless at times, and it does not forgive those who commit mistakes of unawareness. And this is what I believe. So DXN is nothing but all these programs that we do, the trainings, awareness programs to wake you up so that you don't fall prey to the big snake that crawls around here and there around us. And now the biggest challenge is, if you look at it, is this virus that we are facing. But that is just one of them. I don't know. There could be many just knocking the door, waiting for their turn to come in. And we need to be prepared. Trust me. The best way is to build your immune system. Best way is to build your immunity to fight them back. And the best thing is, you don't need to do anything. We have a system, the immune system, that can do that. And how do you build up? That is more important. And that's what I'm going to teach you today. So let us understand what is the immune system and where is the immune system most concentrated. We need to understand this. So if you look at our overall body, we have immunity around the body, from your skin cells to everything, your eyes and everything. There is these guarding cells, the system of guarding that helps us survive. That's called the immune system. So it is everywhere. If an insect crawls on my hand, I can sense it, and I might my body can just give me that awareness. So my nervous system also is a part of it. Collaboratively, everything together forms the immune system. You cannot separate that as only the red, the white blood cells, or the lymphatic system. No, you have to think this as a whole. Everything is interconnected, and immune system is the overall connected part. So how well are you connected with everything is how good is your immune system. So now, when you look at it, where are the cells, the maximum cells which can show immune response found? And if you look at it, science today believes there are certain areas where you can find dense lymphoid tissues, because lymphatic system is very closely associated with the immune system. And these lymphoid tissues are mostly seen in areas where there is more chances of infections. So which are these areas? For example, my commonest area was my throat, because I keep on talking, I expose it to everything outside. So I might breathe air from the out, while I eat food and everything. So definitely the first guardian lymphoid tissue is here, the tonsils, you see. And if you look at the picture here, that's the first area. So if you are running throat infections, quite often you'll see your tonsils swell up, your tonsils swell up. And what did modern science do? They found a simple answer: remove them. And then what happens is, you remove the tonsils, then your second line of defense, that's your lungs, because that's where the air can enter through, because now there is no protection. So first is here, then you go to the lungs. Now why lungs? Because again, air is going in, it can contain millions and millions of bacteria, viruses, fungi. And if your lungs immune system is not strong enough, there you have, it becomes very, very risky. So that's where your immune system starts to develop slowly and slowly. This is again loaded with a lot of lymphoid tissue. You can see the bronchi there are loaded with these lymphoid tissues. Now, you see, if you understand what I'm trying to say, is areas where you're going to be exposed to the outside world, where the outside world is trying to get into your inside world, are the areas where the immune system is very much concentrated, or the lymphoid tissues are very much concentrated. Now, if you go down, you'll see a spleen. A spleen is also very rich in lymphoid tissue, because it actually assimilates the blood. All the dead red blood cells, they get processed there. So definitely, if there is an infection or something, they need to be on guard. Then you can look at the intestine. Don't forget the intestine. That is another area. So what I mean to say is, the whole body, definitely we have these lymph nodes and lymphatic system, but there are primary places where the lymphoid tissue is maximum. And these areas, if we can manage these areas, if we can support our body in these areas, we can definitely build a strong immune system. So let us understand what and how the immune system speaks to us. What is the language of the immune system? And here is a good example of how the immune system speaks to us. Okay, now if you look at this picture, you see this on my this is my right hand side. So you see on the right hand corner, there is this thing that is poking into the skin, and it's like a thorn going into the skin. Now when you look at, when something which is a foreign object enters into our skin, what happens? Suddenly the body responds. That particular part responds. How does it respond? It has its language. What is it going to do? It's going to show these 4 signs. What? Swelling, pain, redness, and warmth. For sure, this is when your immune system has started to respond. Now you look at all the conditions that we suffer from, any condition, this is exactly why we go to a doctor. We go to a doctor primarily because we suffer from pain. We go to doctor primarily if we have an infection, we are suffering from high temperature, we go to doctor. We go to doctors because we have swelling or some kind of fluid collection in certain parts of your body. We go because there is inflammation in your body. So you see, these are the language of the immune system. But what do? We just suppress it. We don't realize that it is a warning. It's the language of the body, and we need to respond to it in its own way. How do we do that? For this, you have to also understand every time, we falling sick, our immune system is trying to fight something. And then it collects data. And our genes, our genetic material basically is nothing but data centers that collect all the data and they store it into our system so that whenever needed, it can reflect back. That's what we also call memory cells and all those things. But in common sense, they are like data centers, and they don't do it only in our lifetime. We have been an evolved species. We have been evolved over years and years. So this data center has been holding on to data for a long time, millions of years of our evolution. And that's why it is very, very important. The kind of exposure that you give, that is how it's going to behave. And not only for our generation, when we build our immunity, we pass it on to our children too. So it's very, very important to build immunity, not to weaken immunity. A weakened immune system can be passed on to a child, and that child will have more difficult times in surviving the future, because the future is definitely going to be much more different than what it is today. And we need to understand this. So how does the immune system get all its response? The way it experiences the world. The way you feed yourself decides what your immune system is going to go through. The kind of high starch, high sugar diet that we have been taking is somewhere becoming a major cause for suppressing the immune system. So watch on your diet, Don't take too much of acidic food. That definitely leaves you on a weakened immune response. Then the food additives, we are moving from, the natural food to most of the junk foods. And if that is going to be your primary diet, trust me, you're going to pay a big price over time. Then you move out the medicines that we take. I know people who have been taking and popping pills for almost 30 years. Can you imagine taking a drug for 30 years? And thinking that it will not harm you? Sorry, it will. The best test of a drug that can harm you or it can cause problems to you is to test that drug. If you take a drug, okay, and you put it here below your lip, just keep it there. If the drug is harmless, it is not going to harm you. You will find nothing there. But there are drugs, if you keep, like you can take a painkiller or an antibiotic, you just keep it here. You will have a chemical burn. That's how they are. But you imagine this is the response of your mucosa to a drug, and that's exactly what you're taking inside. So over a period of time, this is what you're going to face with inflammation and all those things. So you look at the natural products like DXN products. You take Ganoderma, you can open it up, pull it here, nothing happens. Absolutely safe. You open a spirulina, put it here, nothing happens. You take an apple, cut it up, put it here, nothing happens. These are accepted by the body. They are not triggering any kind of response there of body doesn't like it, or the body shows inflammatory response. In these cases, no. So the best way to identify acidic and non-acidic is by putting this simple test. So is drugs like these acidic? Yes, definitely they're acidic. Smoking, trust me, your lungs are the first line of defense when it comes up to your immune system when you breathe in air. But when you smoke and you're a chronic smoker, over a period of time, you toughen the lungs, so hard that the whole lymphatic system there gets destroyed completely. Their sensitivity to infection gets completely lost. So such a person thinks that nothing is happening to him, but what technically happens to him, his tissues inside get so hardened, he could land up with a COPD, he could land up with acute respiratory diseases, so many conditions in future. And once that thing starts happening, it's very difficult for a chronic smoker to just reverse his condition. But yeah, if you stop, this is the same place. If you give it good things, it can reverse itself drastically fast, So the choice is always ours, Which way are we approaching? One is doctors prescribing stuff for us, or second, we prescribe something for ourselves. I think the second choice is much better, because if we have our health in our hands, we choose our own prescriptions, we choose our own formulations that we need for our health, that will be a better choice than anything else. So until now, all good? Samuel, all good? Everything fine? Okay, I continue. So now you need to also understand the immune system in terms what exactly it does. Now here on the screen you see two pictures, one of a police a group, and the other the army group. Now you see they both are silent, they don't do anything unless it is required. So what is the job of a police? Police's job is to watch over things, maintain peace and harmony within the system. So within your society, if there is some robbery, somebody being molested, that's where the police intervene. So they just are watchdogs. They keep a watchdog. They move around in the society and make sure there's discipline in the society. What does the army do? Army watches the borders, makes sure that if there is somebody who is not a part of this community, enters into this community, he will be killed, he'll be finished. Their job is very specific. No foreign attack on this body. So exactly like these two, our immune system does the job, and this job is called homeostasis. That's the policing job, and phagocytosis. That's the army job. What is homeostasis? Is to bring about balance. For example, let us understand. Usually your body temperature is normal, and 98.6 is what your body temperature should be. But when it's really cold, we start to shiver. Why do we shiver? Because our body is now regulating things. It's trying to regulate things so that you build up your own, increase your temperature by this shivering. So in cold season, when the temperatures drop, your body starts shivering so that we increase our temperature. This is the way it does. You go the other way around. In the summer season, when the temperatures are high, your body sweats so that the temperature falls down. Now you look at it. If it's very cold and the temperature is down and you're shivering, that's one way you can still survive. But why would you want your body to shiver? So suddenly you wear some warm clothes, you sip into a hot coffee or a tea, and you help the immune system so that it maintains its homeostasis. The same is with cold weather. When you see the temperatures are hot and you're sweating or something, you help yourself by taking a cold shower, by sipping a cold drink, something or the other. So you help your immune system in homeostasis. So here is when you're understanding the language and you're helping your body. The same second thing is phagocytosis. What is that? When there is a bacteria, virus, or a fungi that enter into our system, we have these specialized cells. They're called as phagocytes. They actually, based on the antibodies that are being recognized, these cells are specialized to encounter these bacteria, viruses, and fungi and finish them off. They digest them up and they end their journey within us. So they don't let them multiply. Now, this is body's immune response to an attack. Okay, but now imagine your phagocytes are also cells. They also need to be healthy, and they rely on the nutrition that you take in. So very, very important. If you look at it now, we are turning back to the importance. If I have to maintain a good homeostasis and phagocytosis function of my immune system, I definitely need to provide my body cells with the right nutrition. And that's where DXN comes into picture. Because in DXN, our philosophy is very, very simple of healing. We should take in good nutrition, good superfoods as food, nutrition, and second, we should make sure that we have no toxins, and toxins are eliminated out of the body. Now, let me bring you to some of the most important organs that our products, especially DXN products, would work wonders on. And the most important organ for me in our body, more important than the brain and the heart and your stomach and your intestine, or your spleen, your liver, is these pair of kidneys. They are the most important things. And that's why probably we have a couple of them. Because if one goes wrong, we still have a backup of another one. And that's how nature builds us. The most important thing is always doubled up so that we can use that for our survival. And on these kidneys, on the top, the cap-like structure is a gland called the adrenal gland that secretes the corticosteroids, the steroids that are used as anti-inflammatory agents for any kind of inflammation in your body. So look at the organ. It's such an important organ. It detoxifies your body, it cleanses your blood by formation of urine, and its health is the most important thing. If that goes wrong, trust me, everything goes wrong. You know, look at a car. If the exhaust pipe is blocked, something happens to that, to the exhaust filter or something. Trust me, whatever brand your car is, whatever it is, after some time it's useless. The same is with this excretory system. This is a very, very important organ, and they are like the mirror image of your lungs. So how important are your lungs? Exactly important are your kidneys. Now, for you need to understand that which of the products of our DXN would really work wonders and help this particular pair of organs. And that, if you look at it, is our Ganoderma, RG and GL. They work wonders, and you can go on PubMed.org and you can find a lot of papers on the way Rishi, basically Ganoderma, helps in nephroprotective function of the kidneys. And I have seen it myself, you know. When I had these kidney stones, I wanted to test whether really its diuretic function is really good. And when I had almost a 2.5 to 3 centimeter stone, a huge one, and I tested it. I actually popped in 50 RG capsules with 5 liters of water, and voila, I could drop down that stone. So I'm not trying to tell you that that is the prescription that I'm prescribing for kidney stones, but what I mean to say, I know its function, I know its action. So even you know that what you're dealing is not with a kind of a placebo product that is only talking good about it. No, I'm talking about real effect. These are functional foods. They show function. So when you drink a DXN coffee that is infused with Ganoderma, you will see within a couple of hours or so, if not for an hour, you will go and pass urine. That means it actually acts as a diuretic. And every time you have diuresis, you have urine going out, you basically maintain your body temperature, you maintain your toxicity in your blood has been taken care of, the more pure it gets. And that is very, very important, because the flow of blood is very, very important, and it needs to be clean, and your kidneys play an important role. So this is my suggestion for your kidneys. Then we move on to the other 3 main organs, which is definitely your heart, your spleen, and your liver. And if you look at them, the most common thing in them is they are all related to your blood. Now, when it comes up to blood, as I said, if you're going to take acidic food, you're going to make acidic blood. But you need to make alkaline blood. Your blood is not acidic. Acidic blood is during inflammatory responses. Alkaline blood is where life thrives. Many people I ask, is the seawater acidic or alkaline? I want you all to Google and find out, and you'll be surprised to see that yes, seawater with such high content of salt is also alkaline, because only in an alkaline environment life thrives. Okay, otherwise in an acidic environment life ends. This is a simple formula. So your blood is actually, technically speaking, not acidic, it is alkaline with a pH of almost around 7.2 to 7.4. So we need to maintain it there. And how is with the right food. And what is the best food? And especially for these 3 organs, our spirulina. And tomorrow, DXN Spirulina's great day is there, because tomorrow our founder, Datuk Dr. Lim Siow Jin, is going to be conferred with the Goodwill Ambassador for IMSAM. Now, IMSAM is an IGO, and it is going to take up a project of feeding 1 million children, malnourished children. And you can imagine an organization endorsed by the United Nations, when they are selecting DXN as one of their primary and DXN's founder as their representative, as a Goodwill Ambassador. That itself talks about the quality. So I don't want to speak much on it. You will know this is the world's most amazing alkaline food. It makes your blood alkaline, protects your 3 organs, and wherever your blood travels, it is going to take its alkalinity. It's rich in nutrients. It's got all the phytonutrients you need. It's got all the amino acids you need. It's got all the minerals you need. It's got all the vitamins you need. It's a complete food. Okay, so let's move to the next slide, wherein another most important organ of your immune system, your lungs. And your lungs, basically, they are continuously engaged in detoxifying your carbon dioxide that is formed during your metabolism in the body. It has to throw it out. It also, I call it as a second excretory organ, in terms of not only throwing out carbon dioxide, but also throws out a lot of air, water vapor. When you speak, you're throwing out a lot of water vapor. When you're breathing out, you're carrying water vapor out. So it actually reflects exactly like the kidneys. It also throws out. So these organs are fluid organs. Two of our organs are kidneys and our lungs, and they need fluid. So make sure, very, very important, you need to be well hydrated. And when I say well hydrated, people think I drink a lot of water. Water is not only the solution. You need to drink hot water. You know, you need to, when you drink cold water, you're basically again playing with your body temperature. So drink hot beverages, and some beverages like coffee, tea, they have amazing diuretic properties. So they definitely are very, very good. In COVID times, I have prescribed a lot of people to go on black coffee or black tea. That's the best treatment you can do to take care of your lungs. So here we have, and in DXN, we have amazing products, especially our cordyceps mushroom is very, very good for your lungs. We have our coffee, we have a tea. Make sure you can add those as your beverages to build up your immune system. Then your nervous system, as I told you, your nervous system also plays a very important role in your immune system. And if you look at it, we have another set of products that are very, very good. Lion's mane mushroom. Wow, it's got the NGF, nerve growth factor. And scientists and researchers have proven its amazing effect in actually helping the damaged medullary sheath of the neurons to be healed faster. And you have virgin coconut oil, amazing product. Again, we have this in India. I'm not sure in Nigeria, but yes, I'm just trying to give you an insight into what the company is and what the company philosophy is, so that you, when you associate with DXN, you'll realize that you're associating with a complete thought process, not just a product line. We are not a company that makes product lines. We make a thought process. We bring a philosophy, and that philosophy gives birth to new products. So when you look at DXN, DXN, you'll find everything interconnected. Then let's not forget the intestine, which I think has been the most abused organ of our system because of the kind of lifestyle we have been eating and just hogging into stuff and just stuffing these largest organ of your body. My goodness, we are suffering from a major condition like colon cancer. People suffer from piles, fissures, fistula, irritable bowel syndrome. They suffer from gastritis. There's a list of conditions that people suffer from gastrointestinal problems. But can you imagine? This is the place where your immune system builds up. It is loaded with lymphoid cells. It is the place where your immune system is actually building up. And I believe if you can maintain your gut health, you can maintain everything else. That's why the gut microbiome, that's a new thing that people are talking now. But if the way I studied in my Indian Ayurveda, where we studied, we talked about it 2,500 years before, that your gut health is the key to your immune system. Yes, and so you need to build that up too. And here we have an amazing product, the Morinda citrifolium noni. It's loaded with all that you need to build up your immune system through your gut. It's amazing anti-inflammatory properties. It's amazing, anti-pyretic properties. It's amazing healing properties. Like it can act as a painkiller. It is rich in this prozeronine that is again going to build up the zeronine. That is a precursor for your cells to regenerate itself. So whatever you think this noni, it's called as Morinda citrifolia, and we call it Morinzi. It's an amazing drink. If it's in Nigeria or if it's in African countries, that's a drink you should drink every day. One of our crown ambassadors from Europe, Laszlo Kopcho, you probably had a meeting with him very recently. He actually takes in a bottle every day. So this is a beverage of choice, not medicine where you drink in 10 ml and 20 ml, 30 ml. You drink it as much as you can. And they say that the Polynesian, in the civilization, when somebody fell sick, had fever or something, the people used to come together, families used to come closely together, take the noni fruit, crush it, make it juice. And the one who was sick used to have it. And also the family, other members used to share the other part of the juice with them. So one who was taking for his sickness, while others were taking for their wellness. We need to do the same. We need to give our whole family this. So how do we know if we have a good immunity? How do we know? We need to know, because at the end, most of the companies and all, they talk about placebo effect. They talk about immune system as something that is you cannot prove it, right? You cannot go and test and say my immune system is on a 1 to 10 scale, 7, 8, 6, 5. No, but there is a way you can find out how good is your immune system, and that is we are using these 6 parameters. First, you have to be your self judge. Okay, energy. How is your energy on a scale of 1 to 10? Mark it down. Are you energetic, completely energetic? Are you on a scale of 1 to 10 at 10? If so, fantastic. You are having a very good immune system. But if your energy levels are dropping, it's going down, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, worry, because that's the sign where your immune system is giving up. Make sure you watch these parameters. So take a pen, paper, make a note of this. Energy first. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your score? Then look at your appetite. Your appetite is one of the most important things that tells you how your immune system is. Okay, because if your immune system is compromised, the first thing it stops is any kind of hunger feeling. So you definitely have a compromise. Now, when I say appetite, I don't mean to say you're too much hungry and you're keeping a hog in everything. That is also not right. It should be balanced. At the right time, you should feel right hungry. You have to have that hunger cravings and that feeling of eating food, digesting food, and feeling energetic all together. Now, again, interconnect all of these. Don't separate them out. That is why I said all these on a 1 to 10 scale, put them very nicely, and then you'll know your own scale. Stamina. How much can you do certain physical activity? How long can you do that? Do you have the stamina to withstand that kind of physical activity? That is a test. Again, on 1 to 10 scale, rate yourself on that. Then you go down and find your endurance. How much things can you endure? Your work pressure, endurance at work pressure, your life, your stresses. How much can you endure? If you cannot endure and you give up and you are dependent on drugs, you're dependent on alcohol, you depend on smoking, you depend on something, that means your endurance level is very low. And so you need to be very, very sure. Find out your endurance levels on 1 to 10 scale. How much is it? And that will give you a score on your immunity. Then you go down and you understand your libido, the vitality of life. Suddenly, the excitement, the energy, the endurance, all these come together to give you that feeling of life. And you're this jolly good fellow, mixing with people, enjoying, for young people, it's a chance of flirting, enjoying life. That feeling, I'm not saying technically doing that, but yes, but feeling of life within you. Suddenly that excitement is also a very, very important factor. On a 1 to 10 scale, please rate yourself with that too. Then comes the most important thing. And this is the time when your body really, really heals you up. And that's your sleep. So your sleeping patterns. Are you suffering from insomnia? Are you sleeping too much, too less? Find out for yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. What is your score? Because this score also can help you understand your real situation. What we have today in our hands through DXN is this amazing mushroom, Ganoderma Mushroom, that Dr. Lim is offering us. But if you look at the history, and you see these emperors behind me, they are holding this mushroom in their hands. So definitely they knew there are certain things where an emperor, you will see most of the emperors holding a sword to fight, because that's when you fight enemies that you can see, the enemies that you can use your sword on. But what about enemies you cannot see? You have to rely on something that is natural. And that's probably what they meant. On one side, humans are an enemy to your life, but on the other side, there are viruses, fungi, and bacteria which are not in harmony with you. They can also be your enemy for life. And that's where you have to depend on these natural herbs. And the best thing is endorsing. And then they are endorsing the Rishi, Lingzhi in their hand. It's a very good indication that we should also adopt the same way. I was lucky when I started to spend my time in training and understanding DXN. I realized that this is going to be a fun journey, a joyride. And around 8 years back, I visited a farm and I was wonderstruck. The way Dr. Lim has built this naturally growing mushroom field. These farms, amazing, a sight to watch. And I'm sure if one thing you want to really watch on this earth before you leave this earth, this is the place you need to watch. It is a really wonderful place, because to watch so many Lingzhi, so many rishis growing all together in one habitat is amazing. It's a sight to witness. It's like, it said, this Lingzhi, the rishi, used to, if it grew on one tree, on one log, the other one you would find almost after around 5 to 10,000 trees, somewhere. It was so rare. And it's such a great thing. Dr. Lim brought them together, and they are cultivating this and having a complete controlled environment in which he's doing this. So yes, definitely worth seeing. Then all these products, if you look at it, they are very, very important in terms of building up your immune system, because they take care of your organs. And once you take care of your organ system, you're definitely building up your immune system. So while we have taken care of the body, what about the mind? That's where Shunya plays a role. Dr. Lim's technique of this meditation, very simple. It's a non-religious, non-political, nothing to do with any faith. And it is a simple therapeutic method of letting your mind to be under a condition where it is not affected, not stressed out, and it helps your immune system. Trust me, people who can practice Shunya, people who are able to do that, will find wonders with this amazing technique. So that leaves me, because Shunya is the full stop. I come up at this point to tell that yes, we are very lucky that we have DXN with us, and it's one of the greatest opportunities that we have, not only for our financial well-being, because it also helps us build our financial immunity. Because you see, today the crisis is that even our financial part is affected, and we need to build out that immune system also. And while we build our financial immunity, we build our health immunity, we are also contributing in a greater cause of building this whole socio-economic immunity, where we can find that we will be able to achieve peace and prosperity for all through DXN. So if you're a DXNer, congratulations. Make sure you do a good job as a DXNer. If you're not, if you're just a new prospect, you're looking and wondering what DXN is all about, trust me, the best thing to know is to join it, experience it yourself, and you'll realize you're with one of the most amazing companies that believes that your company also matters. Okay, so that's all from me, from my side, and I'm open for questions. Samuel.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. It was a mind-blowing section. I'm not surprised. I'm used to your section. I'm not surprised at all, and it's mind-blowing. I saw one of your programs. You invited Mr. Jijit, and you were translating it to India at the same time, and it was very, 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 very educative about the marketing plan, and it was very, very educative. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So please, let's start asking our questions. Let's keep asking our questions. We have Dr. here live with us, so please ask all the questions you want to ask about Shunya. You see the way he broke down every product based on the body parts, and it is what we need to know about DXN. The products are very effective, and also not about the product alone. The marketing plan is structured for you to succeed, for everyone to succeed. So we are a complete company. We are a complete company. Please start asking your questions. Any questions? People are just saying great lecture. Thank you, Doctor. So we have people live in Nigeria, people from Nepal, Philippines, and it's very, 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 very good. So we can start asking our questions. It is a short 45 minutes, but it looked like 2 hours because we learned a lot. My notes.
Samuel,
my note is full.
Samuel, I have limited to 45 minutes because I've got a camera that doesn't allow me to go beyond an hour. So I make sure, I back it up. And that's a good way, Otherwise, we keep on talking and talking. Words can actually lead you or mislead you, okay? So do not trust that. The best thing is action. Action never misleads you. Action actually shows you what it can be. So we always believe in DXN, act first, okay, talk later. And that's what Dr. Lim taught us, So we act, we go, we consume our products, we try, we believe in it. We are least worried of what the world thinks about it. When I started, Samuel, the first thing that comes is doubt, whether this is medicine, whether it is safe. So the first thing I wanted to kill out the doubt, because whenever you do something, never start it with a doubt, because then you will land up in a big problem. I actually consumed 360 capsules of RG, GL, spirulina for myself and checked whether what is happening to me. Any toxic effect? No, fine, absolutely safe. Now, I least worried, if somebody says I'm taking 10, 20, 30, they're still taking very, very less than what I used to take, So 360 in one shot I'm not sure anybody is able to even going to come and tell me that, this is happening to me. That is, I would never believe any toxic effect with anything like 10, 20, 30, 40, even 360.
So there's no dosage. There's no dosage in using our products. No dosage at all.
Food, you should always have a handful. I always say, so people who can afford to have a handful, they could. People who cannot, as much as you can, but you should have it daily. That's what I mean.
Perfect. So how from my own side, how have you linked Sunya? Because your video is always playing in our reception in DXN Nigeria here. So how have you linked Sunya to DXN right now?
It was not me. It was actually Dr. Lim. When we were discussing, Dr. Lim said, almost 27 years, we have spent time in teaching the market about the importance of health, physical health. But there comes a time in life, where aging is definitely going to come in. We might protect ourselves from all the diseases, but someday old age is going to creep in. We are going to suffer from so many things. But is it that the stress and worry of life is bringing our old age faster? Are we not able to complete the 100? The mark of 100 years? What is it? And mind is one thing that definitely is the point where we need to consider. And looking at the rise of mental illnesses around the world and saying that out of 5, 4 are mentally sick, this was an alarming number, and then that's where Dr. Lim, I asked him, what is your secret? How can you keep on working like this crazy for these 27 years? You have built that would take probably 100 years for somebody else to build. What is your secret? And yet you're happy. You're so much into reading. You're an engineer. Basically, he's a civil engineer. Okay. And then he's also done his master's in natural medicine. So you see, an engineer, a doctor, a combination, an entrepreneur, a researcher, a scientist. For people who don't know, he's also, you can say, a kind of, what we say, a person who believes and studies the concepts of the universe, so I'm not able to get the word, but yes, he's a crazy scientist. So I believe, how is it possible? You also have the 24 hours a day. How do you manage? Then he let out the secret. He said, one thing that I've never missed in my last 50 years from the time I started practicing it was a technique of meditation that always reset me the day I start. I said, wow, what is it? And that's where Shunya came into being. And that's where we started to unfold this. And I said, doctor, you cannot leave it as your secret practice. We need to teach it to everyone. And that's how we started to, promote it. We started to teach it, and we started to now practice it. And it's one of the most amazing things that builds up your character. It builds up your personality. It makes sure that your mind doesn't bother you. It doesn't make you a slave of any kind. It sets you free, and you will experience real bliss, happiness, and it sets you also on the path of peace and prosperity.
Very, very, very true. Because during the time Mr. Pradeep came to Nigeria, he's saying something. He came to Nigeria and he taught us about the Sunya during our time traveling. I do Sunya sometimes in the plane, and throughout the hours in plane, I'm always on Sunya. And the thing about Sunya, it is not connected to any religion.
Absolutely.
It's not connected to any religion, and it tends to open and heighten my mind and concentration. You see, attention to details is very important, and it helped me to broaden my attention to details and concentration. That's what Sunya. And I love the part it is not attached to any religion. It is just there on its own.
Yeah, see, when you go to a petrol pump, or a fuel station, and you want to fill your fuel in your car, you will make sure that fuel is unadulterated. There should be zero adulteration, right?
Yes.
How if somebody gives you a fuel that is adulterated? Will you put that in your car? No. But the same thing is from this world. When we are taking in people's experiences and all those things, they adulterate us. They corrupt our mind in such a way. We need to have a system in purifying this. And that's the only way, is how to set up a system where we can actually cleanse our mind, of everything. We are not trying to create new things. I'm not trying to create something. I'm just trying to reset something, like a phone. You're resetting the phone. You get nothing out of it. So at the end, people ask, what do I get from Shunya? You get nothing. What do you get? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yes, you get a cleaner self. You get a more peaceful self of yours. And with that, what do you do is up to you.
Sure. Okay, questions are coming in already. Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Shedrack is saying, If someone is having low sperm count and quick, which of the products is best for such person?
Yeah. Yeah, for this condition, which is very common, it's very common now, with the kind of people that we are facing, the conditions, the lifestyle we are facing, having the low sperm count, and also we call it premature ejaculation. That's a male problem, but even female, you see their fertility also is going down when it comes up to missing their cycles and everything. So even gender wise, if we are not biased, if we understand your genital system needs to be taken care of, and that is done through having a good blood, and blood which is potent with all the nutrition. So in such cases, spirulina works wonder. You need to take good amount, handful of spirulina at least 2-3 times a day. You need to take good virgin coconut oil. That's very good. If you cannot have if you don't have virgin coconut oil in your place, you can use any of the basically virgin olive oil or something. You need good lubrication to your body. You have to have a good massage to your body, because through your skin you can pass in oil to your body. So you use a Gano massage oil. Okay. Yes. Then you need to have GL. GL is rich in all those phytonutrients, and ganideric acids, and it's amazing to build up an alkaline system, boost up your system, balance your organs, and it works very, very good in improving cellular growth. It's a regenerative process. So definitely a lot of GL, and make sure that you cleanse your system. So RG. So prescription really very simple on the basis of priority. A lot of spirulina, a lot of body oil massages. Then your GL should be good enough, at least 4 to 6 capsules 3 times a day. Then RG at least 2 to 4. You can take 2 to 3 times a day, so that you have a good cleanse. And make sure that you take care of your gut health, and that's through Moranzi. So at least drink enough. Yeah, that is good enough for you, and you'll see over a period of 3 to 6 months. And with your mental stress, because stress is also one of the reasons where you have premature ejaculation, low sperm count. So manage to practice shunya along with it, and you'll see this is a very, very minimum problem, and it will get solved like this.
So, Mr. Shadrach, you heard it from doctor himself. Spirulina, GL, massage oil, RUG, Morinzi, very good to help with the quick ejaculation. And those products available in Nigeria.
Oh, fantastic.
Nigeria. All very available. Yes, very available. So spirulina, GL, massage oil, RUG, and Morinzi will help with that. Thank you very much, sir. Another question coming up. If on Ganoderma lucidium many healing crises occurs, is there any better ways to calm them down?
Yeah, see, if you have seen my presentation, one of the things that I was talking about is homeostasis, when the body goes into bringing a balance within it. So when it is cold, you shiver, that's exactly what happens, So what we are calling this healing crisis is exactly when the body is trying to bring back into the, regulation, bring back into your harmonious state. At that time, if you're not able to manage the crisis, you definitely can reduce the dosage to half, okay? But do not stop it. You can reduce the dosage to half, so that how much ever can you manage, that's good enough. But that's an easier way that I would give, technical way. Make sure that you can add virgin. Do you have, Samuel, do you have virgin coconut oil in?
No, not available now. Okay. We intend to bring it very soon. Yes.
Yeah, it is going to work wonders in managing healing crisis, So if you add virgin coconut oil, or I'm sure in your market you are available is the virgin olive oil. These are good products that you can add into your diet. Make sure you use these in your diet, on your salad or something. You add them up, and you'll see wonders that your healing crisis go down. So when you have these healing crises, make sure that you increase your spirulina, increase your GL intake, because they are more alkaline. So most of these healing crises are when there is an inflammatory response of some kind. Because when RG starts detoxifying, there are a lot of body systems that start showing the hidden conditions within them. Because see, like for example, I have inflammation in my body, and because my body goes to self-regulating itself, it starts accumulating water. But because there is accumulation of water, I think my inflammation has been taken care of. But technically, no. So what I do when I take Ganoderma, I actually start having diuretic effect, and my inflammatory response, which was underlying, is now visible. It's evident. So what has happened is basically you're seeing something that was already there. It is not something that is new that has come up. But we then start tackling it. we don't let the body suppress it. We actually tell the body to express it, and we manage it. So you can increase your your GL, your spirulina. You can increase your Morinzi, and if you have your virgin coconut oil, add that too. It will work wonders.
Oh, okay, perfect. So increase your spirulina, increase your GL, and virgin coconut oil. Now, the virgin coconut oil, will it be applied in their food, added to their food, or applied in the body like the massage oil?
No, it's a proper food. Virgin coconut oil should be taken as food. You know, we in India, we tell people to take it while they're cooking food. They can put it on their salad, or some people just prefer to drink it like this. You know, they take around 2 tablespoons and just drink it and follow it up with a black tea or black coffee. That's also fine.
Perfect. So from Dr. Mayor Francis, your question. So for your healing crisis, increase your spirulina intake, increase your GL, increase your your Morinzi, and also virgin coconut oil coming very soon in Nigeria. When it comes, add it, and also add your your black coffee. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Next question. Okay. Great work. I took the black coffee but couldn't sleep that night.
Yes.
Secondly, what is Morinzi used for?
Yeah. So let me answer. You took the black coffee and you could not sleep that night. That means, you know, coffee basically is a relaxant. It actually relaxes you. But when it relaxes when you're awake, that means there is a lot of stress, you know, some kind of stress, hidden stress. So you need to continue taking black coffee. Okay, don't worry. Because black coffee basically is a diuretic also. And especially I'm talking about the DXN coffee because it is blended with Ganoderma. So definitely it brings about an alkaline element into an, you know, technically acidic coffee. So what we are trying to say is when you take Ganoderma based black coffee, when you start having these, you know, sleeplessness, you can top up yourself with spirulina. You can top up yourself with GL, because again, that's a sign that your nervous system is hyperactive. It doesn't let you sleep, calm down. So when you take spirulina, you take GL, you're taking alkaline food that is going to calm down and help you sleep better. Secondly, what is Morinzi used for? Morinzi is a fantastic anti-inflammatory, you can say, beverage. Second, for any kind of inflammation, pain, you can use it as a natural painkiller. It has got amazing effects in conditions of insomnia. So if you take a good half a glass full of Morinzi juice every night before you sleep, you'll sleep like a baby. Morinzi is also amazing for your liver function. So if you have any kind of liver abnormality, or you just want to detoxify your liver or maintain the health of your liver, this is where Morinzi plays a very important role. Morinzi has these amazing prozeronine precursors. You know, they can help you to repair your protein damages. So it actually acts for your protein synthesis. Now, this is very important because every day through our life with stress, strain, physical activity, whatever activity, we go through wear and tear. The body goes through the wear and tear. And we need something that can repair it back. In your sleep, when you have the ingredients that can actually go and repair your system back, that's what Morinzi contains. That's what Noni contains. So it's very good for your skin. That's why you see Mirinda Kerr, the Australian supermodel, uses that for her skin. And for beautiful hair, it's Morinzi that works wonders. So it is an antipyretic. It can help you if you have a fever or something. If you can take that in good quantity, it can help you reduce your body temperature. So you look at the way Noni works is amazing for your joint pains. For inflammatory condition, as I said, it's amazing. It can also improve your appetite. I can go on for another half an hour. So better to drink it and experience it yourself.
Better to drink it and experience it yourself. This has been very, very eye-opening. So you can always go back and repeat it on our Facebook Live, even on our YouTube channel, because I know so many people are jotting it and they are not getting it clearly. Please repeat, because informations are being dished out. Serious information are being dished out by doctor, and it's been eye-opening. Okay, another one, sir. Oh, is cancer caused by toxins or imbalance?
Both. That's what causes disease. You take away the or, and your answer is there. Cancer is caused by toxins and imbalance. Because remember one thing, you see, you're living in a society, a peaceful society, in your surrounding, and suddenly somebody, a crook, comes into your society, a robber, a murderer. He just enters into your society and he starts performing his acts. He starts robbing somebody's house. Your peace and harmony in your society is already gone. So where is the balance now? So what did the toxin do? The intruder, actually, there was balance in your society. It became imbalanced. And the same is the other way around. When a society was, completely at, was toxin free, was everything was there, very nice. And suddenly there is poverty, there is something that is less. Suddenly you see even the common people will become toxic people. So you start relating that with your body, and you'll realize when we are not nutritionally sufficient, when we are malnourished, you are triggering an imbalance, which again triggers accumulation of toxins. When there are toxins, you trigger an imbalance, and then at any point something is going to trigger that immune response in your body, where suddenly you'll start seeing your cells behaving completely different, and that's what we call cancer. Now you look at tobacco. I don't know in Nigeria, but in India, you'll find a lot of people have this chewing tobacco. They chew tobacco and they put it like this. When you put the tobacco here, initially your body says don't do it, it burns it, but people keep on doing the same thing with smoking. When you take the first puff, I was a smoker, so I can tell you about. I used to take a puff. That is how my body used to respond. There was a time I actually, technically speaking, why can I endorse on smoking? And I know how harmful and dangerous it is, and how I have quit smoking is amazing, because I once upon a time during my college days, I used to smoke 100 cigarettes a day. That is horrible, crazy.
Wow.
And that kind of toxins the body had, and it was talking to me. I never listened. I suppressed it. I continuously smoke. This is where I talk. And then if I continue not listening to my body and acting on my own will, at some point my lungs are going to give up, and there is going to be a growth. There is going to be something that is going to come, and that's where cancer comes in. So cancer technically is the language, a harsh language of your body's immune system to tell you that, sorry, if you cannot take care of it, I'll have to take care of it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Okay, next question. Is there any DXN products that shouldn't be consumed by a certain group of patients? Any example, if any?
Yeah. Now, if there is something that cannot be consumed by somebody, definitely that product would not be in DXN. Because if there would be some contraindications to products, then it becomes a pharmaceutical product. And that cannot be a DXN product. So DXN is an agro-based company. We actually produce agro-based products, and agro-based products are natural products, can be consumed by everyone. They are safe, and they have been actually approved by the government because of their safety and to be consumed by everyone. There cannot be something that cannot be consumed by someone.
Very short and simple. Anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody can use DXN products.
Yeah.
Including pregnant women, please. Yeah, including pregnant
women, a newborn child. You can actually give a newborn child RGGL. They give it with honey to lick. I've seen many people do that. They give spirulina to lick. Absolutely safe products to anyone.
Perfect. Amazing. Okay, next question. So I have a question. If any person have a IHV positive, I think she means HIV positive, which DXN products needs to be used for this person?
Yeah, if you have been a part of my session today, I said we need to build up the immune system, and it's the immune system that is going to tackle any condition. So when you're asking me that there is a person who is already immunocompromised, what do? You build up an immune system. That's it. And the immune system will take care of it. So go on the products of DXN, RG, GL, spirulina, Lingzhi, virgin coconut oil, coffee. You bring a lifestyle. You bring a new set of lifestyle products into his life. Over a period of time, he will find his health back. That's it.
Okay. Is it mandatory to finish one bottle of Morinzi at once?
No. It is not mandatory. That is Mr. Laszlo's mission. Okay, daily Morinzi. Not necessary. Yes, you can take it in adequate quantity, as much as you want. Definitely, a lot of people take beverages. You can always take one quarter of a glass, top it up with water. And if you have seen my Facebook page and my videos, I love to make a nice drink. What I do is I take aloe vera leaf, I peel it off, I take the gel inside, cut it into pieces, put it into the Morinzi, 1 quarter of a glass. I put the gel in it, put water, enjoy it. That's how you can come up with your own combinations. You can mix it up with whatever you want and enjoy it. It's just a beverage.
Oh, okay. This question has been answered. Can a small child take Ganoderma? Anybody can take Ganoderma. Anybody.
Yeah. I think that Samuel also can answer now.
Yes, anybody. Pregnant women, perfect. Anybody can
Absolutely, absolutely.
can take it. Now, why cancer generates a lot of pains? Why on Ganoderma lucidium?
Yeah. If you see, it generates pain because suddenly the flow of blood is going to increase because we are going to go through a detoxification. And with if your systems are not clean, every time, see, pains are basically when there is obstruction. When the blood wants to go, but there is nothing, no chance for it to go. It's when you start having pain. See, for example, if you have an inflammatory response, okay, because of the swelling, your blood vessels are compressed. Blood cannot gush through, but every time it wants, it causes kind of a pain, it causes pain. So we use anti-inflammatory drugs to reduce the inflammation, so that reduces the pain. Technically, that's how it works. So similarly, when you're dealing with cancer patients and when you're giving them RG and Ganoderma GL, you're basically causing diuretic cleansing effect. And in that period, many a times what happens is the blood wants to gush through and go through and improve its circulation. And that's where they can experience pain and increased pain threshold. But trust me, if they add what I'm saying, the spirulina, the GL, those things that I told you to bring about alkalinity, to make things much better, reduce the inflammation, these things can be reduced drastically.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Oh, that's nice. I think that's all. Okay. Someone is saying, excellent section. I have many members in Nigeria, but they are not doing DXN business properly. Please give a message for my DXN team, okay?
Yeah, so people who are Mehnas Kiran's downline, or people who are associated with Mehnas Kiran, please. Now, this is a message coming from me, a man who actually has spent 20 years as a physician, never prescribed a medicine to anyone. I have only prescribed lifestyle. I'm telling you, today, just a few hours back, my daughter, she's almost now 14 years old. She told me, Dad, my friend just visited a doctor, and she was telling she visited a doctor for a throat problem. I have never visited a doctor in my life in last 14 years. I have never seen a doctor. And when I tell my friends that I've never seen a doctor in last 14 years of my life, they say it's impossible. You would definitely need to go to a doctor. But technically, trust me, there's no need. If you live a life of complete good health, following certain principles, then you can never need to think that you're going to fall sick. Now, for people believe in a part of Mehnas Kiran team or anybody in DXN Nigeria or any part of the world, you're listening to me, please take this message very clearly. DXN is on a mission to bring about real health by the use of natural products. And you can become a brand ambassador of these products. First, very simple. You consume them, you believe it. If you like it, if you really believe in it, take it as a challenge to make others believe it. Because if we have to really bring about a global change, somebody has to take responsibility. If I would not have taken the responsibility of, stopping myself or limiting myself only to that small clinic, seeing patients, I would